Welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. Today we are elevating the globe with Britt and Tara in the house. How are you, lovely spiritual ladies?
Thanks for having us. Yes.
So tell us about Elevate the Globe.
Yes, so it's a spiritual lifestyle movement that we actually created through our own personal journeys and really creating community around it. So Tara and I both went through our own struggles and then started with Kundalini yoga and really bringing in spirituality. And then we had to have somebody to talk to about it because at first we didn't. So we would talk about it and just help each other along our journeys. And then we realized that there's other people in the back of those yoga classes going through this stuff that need to talk about it. And so that's really how it began.
Where do you guys study under Yogi Bhajan?
I studied with Tej, and I know that you mentioned her earlier.
Amazing. We love you, Tej.
Yes,
love.
Harjivan.
And Hari Jivan, and Guru Jagat, and Guru Jas. So
She's amazing.
I know, all so amazing, and the energy that they carry as a collective group too is very powerful. So it was such a nice thing to be able to train under so many people that had trained with Yogi Bhajan.
Yeah, we're very, very fortunate in LA. We've got all the masters.
I know.
Well, I'm very curious. What was your journey to finding Kundalini? What was that turning point in your life, that transformation?
Yes.
So you can start.
So for me, it was a lot of alcohol and drug addiction and just partying, Hollywood nightlife stuff after college, and then going through a breakup. A lot of people find spirituality and especially Kundalini we find during breakups. So that was one kind of catalyst. And then my mom got diagnosed with cancer. And I kind of went through that whole journey with her, seeing her being ill, and really started appreciating what it meant to be well, and just wanted to teach other people and dive into it more and more. So that's how it really began.
Yeah, and then Britt actually shared it with me. And I was in San Francisco at the time, and I went and started to, it took me a year, honestly, from when I heard about it to actually go try it. And I found a place in the Haight in San Francisco. It was the only place in the whole city I could literally find Kundalini yoga. And it was interesting. You'd think you'd find more of it in San Francisco. And I think now, years later, there's more. But then it was this ashram in the Haight, and every Sunday I would take class. And it was really, what started before that though was I went through a breakup too. And I went into really using astrology to kind of try to understand what was affecting me. Because to me, it was like, something's going on in the planets. Like, what's going on? And how is this affecting me? And how can I use the energy to be like a good creator of my own destiny and not be like a victim of all of this? And I needed more energy though. I needed more than what I had. And I was doing talk therapy, and it helped a lot. And then I was like, it was this journey of finally getting to a place where I was ready for Kundalini. I had been talking to psychics and different things like that too before.
Just to tell the audience a little bit, Kundalini yoga is a type of yoga. It was designed by Yogi Bhajan. It has like 22 different types of yoga, everything from meditation to breath work to everything. And basically he just took it all and went, how do we put this into different modalities here? It's such a beautiful process, incredible process.
Yeah.
So tell us about Elevate the Globe then.
Yeah, so Elevate the Globe started just through teaching Kundalini yoga and then also bringing other lifestyle things that we were using, because it wasn't only the Kundalini, but it was also mindset and happiness techniques that we were using to work with the conscious mind, because Kundalini is such an energetic, subconscious practice, but then we were finding ourselves out in everyday life, needing those reminders and needing those mindset tools. So we brought that in. And then nutrition was a big part of it. It was basically everything that we started doing and using to heal, we put together in a lifestyle that we now teach and share in all different ways.
Nice.
It's really interesting how it seems, or appears to seem, very obvious who's practicing Kundalini, who's living that yogi lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
From your fashion to your crystals to your diet. So tell us a little bit more, if you would, about that lifestyle.
Yeah, it is a lifestyle. I know you guys were talking earlier about how it seems like it can be daunting, if you will, to like play the mantras and do the long yoga sets and and really take the cold showers and do all of it. And for us, it was like this way of making it really easy for people, somehow making it really easy. But it really does just sort of snowball. You start with one thing. Like for me, I started with just 3 minutes of breath work in the morning, and it snowballed into making the time and space to do a longer set, to play the mantras at night, to do the cold showers, to eat the good, like the vegan, fully vegan food that was a whole journey in itself to even getting there. And so it sort of made your life, as you meditate more, you find that time really isn't real, and you have time for all these things somehow. And so the lifestyle, though, is very much yogic based. And for us, it's really kind of going back to the earth, if you will. It's not, it's becoming more in harmony with the planet. And really these ancient practices were a way of living back in ancient times. It wasn't yoga, it was life.
Right.
And
not only that, like, I mean, Hard Jivan, they won Best Album of the Year for New Thought. Like,
Yes.
the thing for me with Kundalini, people go, well, why do I want to do that?
Yeah.
But actually, I think the practice makes people very determined and very clear and very focused and very successful, because when you go through some of those sets, I mean, you guys went through White, Tantra,
Tantra.
right?
Yes.
You go for 8 hours, you do 62-minute sets of like doing one thing, and you're like, what the hell? And you break through all your mind chat, you break through all the excuses, you break through, and it's amazing what you've witnessed people going from a hot mess, literally, to people who can be determined, like
Absolutely.
in anything in their life. It's an incredible practice.
I love that point, and I wonder about that. So for you guys, like objectively, and subjectively too, how have your lives changed as a result of applying what you've learned in the spiritual journey and as a result of the Kundalini practice?
You can go ahead.
Yeah, so I would definitely call myself a hot mess before. Absolutely could be classified as that across the board. So yeah, I really was able to do so much healing, and it just happened really naturally. I wasn't necessarily telling myself, I want to quit drinking, or I want to quit smoking cigarettes, or any of the things. I just started doing these practices, and naturally I had no craving for those things, no interest for those things. They just slowly started slipping out of my life, and then being replaced with, high vibrational people and stronger connections and better relationships and better food. And yeah, now, I really am so proud of my relationships and my marriage specifically. The breakup was actually with my now husband. And we were able to come together in a much more elevated place and now have a great marriage together. But
Love that.
so that's a big one.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
So on that note, how
Yeah.
can people really manifest love in their life? It's February, and it's on everybody's mind and heart.
Well, I think definitely it comes down to, love is a self thing first. It's always going to be about you first seeing yourself for who you are. That's always the inner being within you is always really loving you. And so coming back to that is something that we do every single morning with the morning routine, because if you don't set your day up, it just carries the energy that you get in the beginning of the day will carry you, and then you're sort of a passive creator, not necessarily in charge of your life, or you don't feel that way. So we sit there and really pull in this beautiful energy and connect with ourselves and ask ourselves, like, really, what do we need today? What do we want? What do we want to create? And if it's love, it's like you're talking to yourself every morning and you're talking yourself up. Like, you are beautiful and gorgeous, and this is what's going to happen today, and it was amazing, and almost like you're talking about it like it already happened. So if you want to manifest love, it's like, well, I met the most amazing man or woman or whatever, and it was at a coffee shop, and it was this crazy meeting of the two minds together, and it was just a 5-minute conversation, but we got each other's number. Like, you can create anything you want.
I love
all
that.
day long.
And Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill talks a little bit about creating these parties where everybody shows up as who they'd like to be in 20 years.
Yeah.
And you only can have conversations from that perspective of having already accomplished your dreams, already being a millionaire, already being in love, whatever it is. So I love that we can all do that ourselves anytime we want.
Anytime.
Imagination.
Yeah.
So just to play devil's advocate for a minute, lots of people think Kundalini is a cult, because there's Yogi Bhajan, and the definition of a cult is to revere a person and like put them on a pedestal or whatever. And in some regards, it is in that way. But it's also, for me, it's like it just works. And if something works, you do it. And it doesn't mean that that's the only thing. And there's many other modalities. What do you guys feel about that?
Yeah.
Good question.
Yeah, that is a good question. And we love to talk about this because there are a lot of misconceptions just in general in the world, but especially with spirituality and Kundalini. A lot of people doing Kundalini wear white because it projects and it expands your aura, and it just helps. It's why nurses wear white. It helps other people to perceive you as a healer, especially as teachers. So there's that, and people wear the white turbans, so sometimes people associate that with cults or religion. But essentially, it's really just a practice, and nobody ever goes out and tries to get people to come and do it. It's just,
Oh, yeah, they do. People are like, all my friends are like, you got to do Kundalini.
okay. I'm like, I've never seen that.
Like, that's new.
We don't do that. We just like to share.
Have you ever tried Kundalini?
I haven't. No, I haven't even tried Kundalini
Okay.
yoga. But I've been inspired to by Dr. Erin, because she's always,
Amazing.
she's a certified teacher, right? So,
That's
yeah.
great.
I don't
Yeah.
teach for people, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, kind of the other thing on that is that Yogi Bhajan really wanted to create teachers, so he didn't want it to be about having a guru, especially where we're in now in the Aquarian age. It's all about being your own guru, like Tony Robbins talks about. So he's really about creating teachers and having practices that you can do in your own life so that you don't even have to go to a teacher. And that's really what is important to us to share, and why we create programs online, because it's not available in a lot of cities. And we just make quick little videos that people can sit, press play, and do a 15-minute practice,
important.
you know?
So important.
I love this. Can you talk to us a little bit about the programs that you do offer and the services you do offer? Like, is it classes, is it workshops, is it online, is it in person?
It's kind of all of it, actually.
Yeah.
So we do, a majority of what we do is online. So it's really like, we have a membership academy called 528 Academy, and we follow
Frequency of Love.
Yes.
528 HD.
and we follow the astrology through throughout the whole year. And so each season there's meditations and recipes and journal prompts and live new moon classes or full moon classes that we are really aligning with that actual season, so that we're pulling in the energy that's available to us, given to us by the planets, right? So we live in this beautiful universe, we might as well utilize it, right?
Absolutely.
And then we also have a Rise Up, a 8-week chakra balancing course, and we do a lot of in-person events, and then we are also hosting retreats.
Oh, so
Yeah.
cool.
So we have a new one coming up in Joshua Tree, and we just did one in Bali, and like the best things we've ever
Don't
done.
tell that to these two ladies. Are you kidding me?
You guys have to come.
Yeah.
We'll be there. Bob will handle the show by himself.
Yeah, the furthest I go is
You're good,
KTLA.
right?
These two will be on Bali. Yeah.
I love it. I have to say that I
myself.
remember I did a post one time because I was like, if you're ever going to give some advice of like spirituality, I think to understand universal law in the subconscious
Yes.
and to do breath work and Kundalini. Those, with you mixing those three, like you're done. It's over. Game on. Whatever you want in life. So congratulations, you guys, for stepping into your own power, bringing this more out in consciousness through entrepreneurship. So important. Thank you
Thank
so much
you.
for all your work.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Completely agree.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.